Rich Tarani here with TMC. We're at Wearable Tech Expo 2015 at the Jacob Javits Center in New York. On our program is Angel Feng. She is with Opto Capital Group, right? I got the company right? Where are you guys based out of?
New York.
Fantastic. So I wanted to start out by just talking a little bit about what your company does.
We specialized in global macro investment, and we provide investors with our researches. We normally specialized in different asset class, regions, and industries, and especially we're interested in disruptive technologies, and wearable tech is part of that. That's why I'm here.
Fantastic. So within wearable tech, what are you seeing in the market? What sorts of interesting things?
I just went to the CE week, and there's a fantastic fashion show using the wearable tech, and I saw all beautiful women models are wearing that, and they're using sensor technologies, and you can analyze the data, and you can do many things that is really in the emerging field. For example, the Internet of Things using 3D printing or robotic technologies. I consider that all connect together.
And so some of the opportunities in the market are Internet of Things, sensors, wearable tech, 3D printing. Do you think all of them will be big industries going forward?
Oh, definitely, yes. I personally already invested in robotic technologies and sensors technology.
It's interesting that, speaking of those areas, Google's purchased a bunch of robotics companies, and they also purchased Nest in the Internet of Things market.
Recently, we saw there is a new ETF coming out, which is a robotic ETF. So people, I think it's 77 holdings, and people can buying that ETF and invest in 77 companies around the world specialized in robotic technology.
And there's so many sectors of robotics, aren't there? There's military robotics. There's, if you think about, there's some people consider the drones to be autonomous vehicles in robotics, and then there are household robotics as well for cleaning floors, cleaning windows. So it's really a lot, and then manufacturing. I mean, there's so many different sectors, right, of robotics. So what other technologies? Anything else that we should know about? Any other trends you're seeing in the market?
I'm particularly interested in the consumer part of the robotic technology because the industry robotic has been used for many years. However, I envision a world that one day people do not need to work 8 hours a day. People can work 4 hours a day, so that people can have more time to enjoy life. What I hear is lots of women, they consider themselves have 2 jobs. I remember in the old days when my coworker said every day when she go back home says my another job starts. So I do think that robotic technology can free them up. And also I see lots of people afraid of losing job. I think this is a time we can liberate mankind.
Oh, that's very exciting. All right, so now to something that may not be as exciting, and that is we talked about valuations of the tech companies. You had some thoughts on what's happening with whether the market is a little overvalued right now or overvalued. You want to share those?
I think the interest rate is historically low, and it's artificially low, and also we see government printing so much money around the world. If the interest rate is artificially low, therefore the earnings are artificially high. So we do see it's overvalued.
So by definition, because typically you would have higher interest costs, and those interest costs would reduce profitability, and subsequently the profits are higher than they should be, right?
You're very right.
Now, you didn't mention anything about, do you think there's any kind of inflationary challenges as well in the future because of what's happening?
That's the hardcore. You know why? Because we have baby boomer retiring soon. So we have a massive deflation force in the market. But also we see a very artificial force, which is the government printing so much money, which is the inflation force. So when you have an artificial force in the market, it's very hard to determine when is going to be inflationary, when is going to be deflationary. It's more like a bull and a bear. They're beating each other. They compete with each other, and we don't know when. In any time, one could be the winner, one could be the loser. And that's why I call myself confused economist at this time. And one economist from Bank of America called me the honest economist.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.